Hello, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the second order Butterworth filter, low pass Butterworth filter. So for the analysis purpose, we are going to consider this portion because this portion is the non-inverting op amp. So for that, we already have the simple equation V naught is equal to Vi into 1 plus Rf by R1. So now we need to analyze this part of the circuit, filter circuit. So in the last derivation, when we have discussed for the first order low pass filter, we were having only one pair of RC. So that's why it was the analysis was easy. But when we are having two pair of RC, during that time, we have to transfer this circuit into S domain. We have to transfer it to S domain and then we need to apply. Then we need to analyze. So this part of the circuit we have considered and this is going to the non-inverting terminal of the op amp. So this is actually the filtering circuit where RC are connected and here we are giving the input. So here all the circuit components and parameters will be expressed in S domain. So S is equal to J instead of where we were using J. No, here it will be instead of J we will be taking it as S. After that we are going to apply the KCL Kirchhoff current law at the node A, that is VA of S. So this is node A actually. This node A, we are having voltage VA. So we'll be applying the KCL at this particular node. So when you apply here, the current entering and current leaving, which we are taking, so it will be equal to I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. The current which is through R3 is I3, and current through uh, this capacitor C2 is I2 of S. So now we will be writing, as usual, we will be writing current in terms of voltage by resistance. So current is equal to V by R. So V in minus VA because the current is from this point to this point and the voltage difference across R2 is V in minus VA divided by R2. That's why we have taken like this. Next, for I2, we are going to take this is the current with respect to the capacitor. So that's why we are going to take the potential difference for this capacitor reactance is between VA and this ground, or we can tell V naught because we are connected it to V naught of yes. So between these two, we are going to take VA minus V naught of yes, because you can see that this capacitor is connected to the output, so that is being considered as V naught. So that's why V naught we have taken here plus VA minus V1. So the potential difference across R3 is VA minus V1 and current through R3 is as you know is I3. That's why we write VA minus V1 by R3. The voltage across this point is considered to be V1 and the voltage across this point is considered to be VA. Now again, here we will try to find out the each voltage because as you know we are using a non-inverting op amp. So for non-inverting op amp to get the output, we know V naught is equal to V in into 1 plus Rf by R1. But whatever the analysis we apply for non-inverting op amp is with respect to the negative feedback. So when we are applying it to the negative feedback, we need to know what is the effective voltage that we are going to give to the positive terminal. Because when you know this voltage, then only you can consider that V in over this node. Can anyone tell me what is this node known as? This node. With respect to this portion is non-inverting amplifier. What we call this node as
G sir, virtual ground.
virtual ground. Very good. So this affect whatever the voltage we are having at V1. So that voltage will be reflecting over this node. So in order to know what is the effective voltage across this node, we need to first know what is the effective voltage which is appearing across V1. We cannot take Vin is equal to V1 because since we are having the voltage drops because of R2, C2, R3, C3, we need to first find out the voltage across V1. But when you look into the circuit, when you are going to find a voltage across a particular node, always we will be trying to uh, approximate that where actually this particular voltage is appearing. So this is a node. But when you want to find out a voltage or a potential difference, we will be taking across some particular resistance or some reactance or some inductance. Now, when you look into this circuit, can you tell me which part of the component R2, R3, C2, C3, among this, which part of the component is going to have the same voltage as we are having across V1? Which component will be having the same voltage, or this V1 will be appearing across which component and why? Across which component this node voltage V1 is going to appear. Anybody? Across which component does the voltage V1 will appear, whether it appears across R3, C3, C2, R2.
So that'll appear across R1, right? Because that is a virtual ground place, right?
No, that I'm asking with respect to this circuit because we are applying the analysis to this portion. Once we know what is the voltage across V1, then it will appear across this.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
asking here only. In this
It'll
circuit,
appear across C3, sir.
it's good. It will appear across C3 because when you are going to find the potential difference of C3, we take V1 minus 0. So it is V1. If you take the potential difference across R3, it will be VA minus V1. So obviously, this voltage, whatever we are getting here, or the effective voltage, whatever we are getting across V1, will not be the same voltage what we are getting across R3. Obviously, this voltage will be same as the voltage which we are getting across C3. So this is the first step in the analysis. So when you know in a complex circuit where these components are connected parallelly, during that time, to find a voltage across a particular branch, we apply voltage divider rule. So now we are going to apply voltage divider rule to find out what is the voltage across this C3. Because of that, on applying voltage divider rule, we have V1 is equal to VA, and this is VA is the actual supply. When you look in, the input is given to R2, through R2 it is given to VA. For V1, VA will be acting like a supply voltage. That's why we are taking it as VA into resistance where we are going to find. So obviously it is reactance, that's why we take 1 by SC3 divided by total resistance in that particular branch. So obviously we are applying to this portion of the circuit. So R3 plus 1 by SC3. So that is we are taking. So after that we are going to simplify it, I mean just a mathematical simplification, and finally we are going to obtain the equation for VA. VA is equal to V1 into 1 plus SR3 into C3. Now substituting this VA value in the above equation, wherever we are having VA, we are just going to substitute VA value here. Once we are going to substitute this, again the further process is the simplification process. We are going to split it up. V in by R2 minus V1 into 1 plus SR3 C3 by R2 is equal to V1 into 1 plus SR3 C3 by 1 by SC2 and minus V0 by 1 by SC2 plus V1 into 1 plus SR3 C3 by R3 minus V1 by R3. Now our final intention is to find out the output voltage. We have found out what is the effective voltage across A. When now we are substituting that VA into KCL equation, and now we want to find out what is the output voltage, because when you find out the output voltage only we can get the gain. Then only you can then only we can arrange it as output by input, and that will be the gain requirement of this particular, or gain given out by this particular circuit. So now rest of the things is the mathematical simplification. So just we rearrange it and we take the V naught common in this portion, whichever wherever we are having V naught, we will just take the V naught common. So finally, we are going to cancel whatever we can cancel out, and finally we are going to arrive at this equation, and we will find out V1 because uh, as the op amp is in non-inverting mode, we can see this is the effective voltage. So we are going to find out the effective voltage V1. So V1 is there. So now this is the formula for the inverting mode. V0 is equal to gain. That is what I told, 1 plus Rf by R1 into Vin, because Vin itself is the voltage which is going to appear across the virtual ground, which is at the inverting terminal. So when you are going to get V1, we just substitute it here. Then, so you can write 1 plus Rf by R1 in AF, or you can write it as AF. Since the equation is complex, so we'll just write it as AF. Then we are going to substitute whatever the equation we have obtained in V1, and again here, so whatever the common terms that we can take out, we'll take it out, and finally we are going to say write the equation in terms of V naught by V in by taking the V in common in this equation, V in and V out common. So we are going to arrive at this equation V naught by V in, that is equal to AF by the rest of the thing we are going to take. So now the damping factor of a system we are having. So may I know anyone knows what is this damping factor? Hmm? So basically, this damping factor deals with the controlling the overall the gain, because see, we are talking about low pass filter, and we don't want the signal to pass through when the higher cutoff frequency is reached. But when you can look into the this is this is how we are having the gain versus frequency. Let us assume somewhere here we get FH, the higher cutoff frequency. Even after crossing the higher cutoff frequency, we are having some amount of gain. We want the signal to go to it. It has to roll off to zero gain as early as possible. Otherwise, what happens is the even the higher frequencies will also be uh, passing to the output. So damping factor is an ability of any device to control uh, control the output of that particular device, even whenever the input stops flowing. I'll repeat it again. Damping factor is an ability of any device to control or stop the output whenever the input supply is stopped. So that's why here in this case, by using the by this damping factor, the roll-off factor will be more, and it is going to reduce at a rate of 40 dB per decade. But in our first order, we were having 20 dB per decade per decade means for frequency in terms of 10 decade. So 10 kilohertz or 100 hertz like that. So for every 10 kilohertz, it is going to reduce with a rate of 20 dB like that. So this damping factor is very important to control the flow of the higher cutoff frequency signals. So that's why we are going to consider that damping factor here, and that damping factor is being expressed by eta. Okay. This is the symbol for damping factor eta, and we are going to write for this entire term, whatever we are having, this entire term, we are going to replace it by the damping factor eta, eta and omega n. Eta omega n will be 2 eta omega n will be replacing this entire factor. And as usual, 1 by R2, R3, C3, C2, C3, this will be expressed by omega n square, the angular frequency. So when you can analyze here only, see when 1 by R2, R3, C2, C3 is taken as omega n square. So obviously, we will be taking omega n also in this case, and S is already there. So we are taking 2 omega n. So uh, because this is the filter is of order 2. The order 2 means it is going to have 2 RC pair. So that's why we call it as the filter is of order 2. And this is the equation for V naught by V in is equal to the overall gain divided by the same equation, but we are going to replace it by 2 eta omega n. And this is omega n square we are going to consider. Now, since omega n square is equal to 1 by R2, R3, C2, C3 we have considered, we are going to just substitute what omega n square. So take the square root on both sides, we get 1 divided by root of R2, R3, C2, C3, and later on we substitute for omega n. So omega n is nothing but the cutoff frequency, higher cutoff frequency, omega h. So omega n can be replaced by omega h, and now we substitute 2 pi fh for omega h. So when you substitute 2 pi fh and we want the equation for frequency, higher cutoff frequency, fh is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi into root R2, R3, C2, C3. So this is the equation, and from from this, we will come to know the required cutoff frequency of the filter. So, for a second order low pass Butterworth response, the voltage gain is given by V naught by V in is equal to AF by root of 1 plus F by FH to the power of 4. So, if you have remembered the equation for the first order low pass filter, what was the equation? The same voltage equation for first order. It was AF by 1 plus F by Fh to the power of 2. Plus 2, but here it is 4. That indicates it is the second order filter. For it is the filter of order 2. So this you should remember. After that, so this is the 40 dB per decade slope which we are having. Again, the same thing, 3 dB, and we are going to take it 3 dB, and we are going to take the cutoff. This is the pass band, and this is the stop band. And we can take it 3 dB downwards, or you can take it as 1 by root 2 times of the gain. Suppose if you are not converted the gain into decibels, we'll take 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 is equal to 0.707. So 0.707 or 3 dB is this line. So again, coming to the design procedure, so we need to choose the value for the cutoff frequency that will be given in the problem itself. To what frequency you need to design the circuit, that will be given. That is the first step. After that, so we have to simplify the design. So to simplify the design, we are going to consider R2, R3, all the resistors are equal and all the capacitors are equal. And here in this case, we are going to consider the capacitor value will be lesser than or equal to, in the range of lesser than or equal to 1 microfarad. It should be maximum, it can be 1 microfarad. We should use less than that only. So now when you are taking R2, R3 is equal to R and C2, C3 is equal to C, when you substitute it here, you will get 1 by 2 pi RC. Then the gain of 1 plus RF by R1, and of the when you consider R2, R3 same and C2, C3 same, so we are going to consider in this case the overall gain as 1.586. So AF is considered to be 1.586 when R2 is equal to R3 and C2 is equal to C3. So then we'll take RF is equal to 0.586 times R1. So we will choose R1 which is lesser than or equal to 100 kilo ohm. In that range we are going to consider, because when R1 is at a, because RF should be greater than R1, because it is going to give some gain. It is not only filtering, the circuit is not only filtering, it is also providing some gain. That's why we need to choose R1 at higher value. Then obviously RF will be that much times higher. So finally we are going to calculate RF. Okay. So this is the derivation which we are having. You need to practice it, then only you can do. Since it will take a lot of time to discuss, I have just opened up the PDF and I have explained you. If you have any doubt at any part, you can ask me now or at any other time. Okay. Now let us move on to some of the problems related to this. So design a second order low pass filter with cutoff frequency 10 kilohertz and unity gain at low frequency. Okay, I'll give it as 15 kilohertz. Also calculate the voltage transfer function magnitude at 20 kilohertz for the filter. So first step, as you know, we need to consider the frequency equation 2 pi RC. So as we have considered R2, R3, all the resistors are equal and all the capacitors are equal. So here in this case, design means, as you know, it is R only. R we need to find and C we need to find. In this question, they are not given R value. Also, they have not given the C value also. We need to find them. So in order to find them, so we need to assume some values. According to the design procedure, you can see that the capacitor value should be less than 1 microfarad and the resistance value should be less than or equal to 100 kilo ohm. So as in the design itself, we have assumed that one thing what you can do is, see here, you can choose R or you can choose C. You can choose even the C value as 0.1 microfarad. Let C is equal to 0.1 microfarad, or you can choose R is equal to, let R is equal to 100 kilo ohm. Any one you can choose, and based upon that, the other will be obtained. Okay, that is left to you. So in the book, I have chosen R value because as in design itself, we the standard procedure of the design tells R1 can be equal to 100 kilo ohm. So that's why we can directly use 100 kilo ohm. But usually the capacitor value, even though it is given as 1 microfarad, we will be usually using zero point 0.1 microfarad or 0.1 picofarad, like that. So what we will do is, in this case, since capacitor value is ranging till 1 microfarad, we will better use in second order low pass filter, we will better choose resistance value 100 kilo ohm. Let it be 100 kilo ohm because capacitor value, it keeps on depending. So we'll have that confusion whether to take 0.1, 0.01, 0.1, 0.01, whether to take microfarad or picofarad. So all to avoid all these confusions, let us take R is equal to 100 kilo ohm and find out C. FH is given, so find C. What is the value for capacitor? Anybody got the answer? Anybody got the answer?
So 106 picofarad.
106.
Yes, sir. 106 picofarad.
Okay. All of you got the same?
Yes, sir. 106.16 picofarad.
Now voltage transfer function. So voltage transfer function means the V naught by V in is equal to AF by root of 1 plus F by FH to the power of 4. So this equation. So substitute F value is given, FH value is been given. See, FH is the cutoff frequency value and F is the voltage magnitude function frequency what they were asking. How much you got?
Sir, I got 0.490.
0.490.
Yes.
So suppose anybody got the gain, same gain.